At this rate, I'm just gonna do a series called Doing My Own Maintenance, because in the first episode, I learned how to do an oil change on my Hellcat Challenger, and today we are going to change my brake pads and the rotors on my Camry. Now, when I took it to the dealership, not only did they damage my Camry, but they also quoted me over $700 to change the brake pads front and rear, and also to resurface the rotors front and rear. Now, I found that quite expensive, and that just kind of gave me a little bit of motivation to do it myself. And not only am I gonna learn how to do it today, but I'm also gonna do it for under $400. Why? Oh, thank God. Check for any nails. Just in case the Camry does fall, I'm not going to be underneath it, and I really don't want to jack it up more than I need to. So I've seen some people use their wheel underneath it just in case of an emergency, and to be honest with you, I much rather mess up the wheel than my toes. So let's just do that for right now. So I ran into a problem. So this is a 14mm deep socket, and you need a 17 skinny, and I do not have any skinnies in my set. So what I'm gonna end up doing is just using some needle nose pliers, and hopefully that does the trick. Yeah, that's not gonna work out. Okay, that did the trick. Now, let's do the same thing on the bottom. All I want to do right now is just loosen it. How bad are they? I'm gonna need to compare this to the new ones, because I can't tell if this is good or bad. All I know is they're squeaking. Since we are going to change the rotor, that means I also need to remove this piece, and there are 2 bolts in the back that are also going to be 17s. Bro, this isn't working. We're at Home Depot and I brought the socket just in case, because I need to get the tool that works with this, because the last thing I need is to get a tool that does not work with what I currently have. Where is it? All that for this. But we're gonna give this one more try just to make sure that these are really tight. So could just be I don't have the right leverage, but yeah, I can do that. And I can already feel this kind of slightly bending. Nice. So the tool didn't work. I'm thinking it's because it needs a full charge and I need to use it now. So I have a breaker bar, but clearly I don't have enough space to kind of have enough leverage. So I have an idea. It's probably not the best, but we're gonna give it a try. There we go. I can try and do the rest of it by hand. Oh yeah, that one came out. Okay, one's off. Second one's off. Now we can take off this piece. All that, a 2-hour delay, when I could have just figured it out on my own. Also, that tool was a waste of time. I wasted 2 hours going, getting a snack. I'm gonna return this. This was not worth it. This was not worth it. At least for what I needed it for. To remove the rotor, people used bolts to remove it, so that's exactly what I got. I got this M8 40 millimeter, 1.5 inch metric hex head. And I got 2 of them, so hopefully that should help out to remove that, because I'm pretty sure if I try to pull this on my own, yeah, it's gonna be rusted on there. So let's try this method instead. There we go. That's what we want. Whoa, that's a lot of rust. So now, just to make sure that we have the right rotor, we need to compare that the sizing is exactly the same, which it is. So that's good for me, because that would have sucked if I needed to go to the store. I did clean off the rotor using brake cleaner, so make sure to do that beforehand. And I did it twice just to make sure I got everything nice and clean before I put it on here. Whoa, clearly there's a difference, and why I needed to replace them. I did do these wrong, so we're just gonna pop them off and reinstall them, which should be easy. It's just me making this harder than it needs to be. I put those in the wrong spot. They should be on the other side, so. Right, so since this one moves, this is actually going to be the back. And then this one is going to be the front. So those 2 pieces that I just took off should be up here instead. Not a big deal, but just an easy fix. There we go. That looks really good. Let me show you what it looked like before. Thank goodness I looked at this side because this side is flat and this side has the loop. So I'm gonna flip it the other way around because apparently I had it right the first place. But thank goodness I haven't put everything back in yet. So let's pop it out. This side was by far a lot faster than the other side because I knew what I was doing now. So all that's left is to put the wheels back on and then we can get started on the front brake pads and the rotors. Whoa, these are thin. These are thin. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put the wheel underneath. Give me a second. Nice. Gotta put the wheels back on now. I think we can all agree that I should have changed my front brake pads a whole lot sooner because I was literally hitting metal. And again, I did not know how to change my brake pads or my rotors. I was very intimidated just by those words going to the dealership or even just kind of going to a shop. And I just really wanted to not only learn, but kind of conquer that fear in a way. So I feel very proud right now and I'm super excited to go on the first drive because this is something completely new. And it's why I really wanted to stick to this series and doing my maintenance for the very first time. So I'm super happy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that there was a lot of mistakes and I really tried to show you guys how I kind of worked through those. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one out there that's barely learning how to do their own maintenance on their cars. So if you're like me and you've never done it before or you just recently learned, please let me know because I don't want to feel alone. But thank you so much for watching. Give me your feedback and comments on how I did. I know that there was a couple of steps that I probably missed, could have done things a little better, but let me know so that way I can improve the next time I do maintenance on my cars. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Drive safe.